Yeah, Metcalf, he's a pretty good starter, and I like where he's at right over here, because I do believe that if you get a wheel on it, you can push everybody wide. And the key is to get on the inside. If anybody's on the outside, squeeze them out, and then ride that berm, that rail across, and triple onto the tabletop in the first rhythm section. Then you can be gone.
Yeah.
Wyndham is sandwiched right between Brayton on the 10 and Millsaps on the 18.
Yeah, tripling out of that first turn, I think it's key. You get such a great run down the front, down the straightaway, and everyone else has to go double-double.
Well, let's see who's going to get that whole shot.
Yeah, and then that sets you up good for the next turn, keeps you from getting into a block pass situation.
Watching the 30-second board, as soon as she exits the racetrack, those revs are going to come up, and we're going to be underway.
Nice long straight here. Let's see the horsepower.
And of course, the Honda's got it.
Oh, look at that.
Tommy called it.
He sure did. Will Hahn. Boy, you know the adrenaline's pumping right now. Number 58 into the early lead. Oh, the rest of them stacking up here.
That's Canary and
the 211
Tapia.
having his issues there. Tapia, he's down. Millsaps is right there with Hahn. Brayton right behind him.
I tell you what, it's been months since Will Hahn has been at a Supercross, and I'm going to tell you, the guys like
Millsaps
here,
inside, takes the lead away.
These guys are fired up. These guys are primed right now, and they're going to make short work
Brayton
of Will.
Brayton as well.
You see, Wilbur just wants to, almost let those guys go. He wants to settle into a rhythm and put this bike into the main event.
Top 9 is what he's thinking at this point. But he turned in some pretty good qualifying. But I tell you what, he mentioned with Aaron that he did go down to practice, and it was in the other rhythm section, not the one they just passed. And it was ugly there for a bit. I'm glad he's up and going again.
Metcalf and Wyndham round out in the top 5 as heat number 2 continues.
These two are starting to step it up the last couple of weeks. I think it's key that these guys get great starts tonight and continue doing what they've been doing. And unfortunately, a lot of us are hurt, but these guys are worthy of it. Davies won races in the past, and I think he's a guy that can truly go and win a race tonight.
Mike Williams, Ryan Villapoto, Big B, all watching. Monster Energy, Kawasaki factory team keeping an eye on the competition.
Well, and he should be, because these guys we've been alluding to is that they really have stepped it up. And the great thing, or the impressive thing, is about the number 10 here, Justin Brayton, is that he was injured earlier in the year, and yet he stayed in it, was only riding on the weekends, and now he's found himself in a great position. Kevin Wyndham making the pass on Will Hahn. Wyndham's back looks loose enough to me, and I tell you, he's out there. Didn't quite get the start that he needed, but he has been really fast here this last couple weeks, and without that crash last week with Alessi, we'd be talking about him, as being one of these podium riders to challenge Villapoto.
Chad, we've always said you're one of the grittiest riders in the gate, and you, more than anybody, has found a way to battle through the pain and adversity in this championship. How is a guy like Wyndham doing tonight? What kind of things go through your mind when you're at the gate just before it drops?
I think that when you're hurt, the hardest part about it is the daytime, getting through the practices. Right now I almost guarantee you that he doesn't feel anything. It's like there may be a little tweak, but he's out there, the adrenaline's running, and you got to get the job done. He's taking rocks from Metcalf right now, so there's so much more going through his head. So I think he'll be fine in the main event.
That's the battle for third right now, Aaron, as Wyndham is right on the backside of the 24, Yoshimura Suzuki and Brett Metcalf.
That's right, Rob. I think the adrenaline is pulling him through tonight so far. He said he's been sore all week, been doing a lot of therapy, but he's having a hard time loosening up.
Well, he's got it loose right now and riding great. Wyndham has himself up to third.
Kevin's great in the whoops when they get cupped out and they get a really sketchy line like that, and it's something that I don't have this feel. I love whoops, but when they're like that, Kevin is no better than Kevin.
Why is that? What's different about the whoops when they're like that?
The bike just moves around so much, and the way he sets up his bike, I guess it just it just helps him out.
One rider is down, getting started again, so you saw the yellow flag out there, and that'll make Brayton slow up a little bit and gave Millsaps a huge advantage just when he had Brayton all over it.
Yeah, and that was Horbaugh on the 143 that went down.
That's a huge break for Millsaps.
And even look at the lap times, you know, we got Brayton at a 47.5, and, you know, we have Ryan was at I think a 46.2, so track's slowing up a little bit.
Yeah, there is a window there of when the track is beginning, when it's all prepped and new. It's not quite fast, and some lines get grooved in. Then it goes past its prime point. Now the ruts start getting deeper. You start to get a lot more chopped up. Some rocks are really going to come up. But I tell you, I think Villopoto just really turned it up in that heat race.
Yeah, can't deny that one, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he was riding well.
great.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these guys are making little mistakes, and I think the whoops is key.
Brayton comes charging through the whoops as well. There's Wyndham, there's Metcalf, and Nico Izzy is up to 5th. Will Hahn has dropped back to 6th. He's got a gap of about 2 seconds before he has to worry about Faith coming along. Gavin is running in 7th.
DK riding good. Normally a lights guy on the West Coast, and coming out here and riding 450. And actually, I think he took a week or two off, had some surgery on his wrist, and so he's looking good.
Fastest lap last time around was Brayton at a 47.8, but these guys have still not cracked into the 46s.
There's Gavin Faith, blue riding gear, number 617. And it's Gerke and Albertson rounding out the top 9.
And you guys remember on the West Coast, Gavin Faith jumped on that Geico Honda team to fill in.
Four-wheel Hahn, right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Wait, who was it that he was filling? Yeah, Will Hahn. And had some pretty good rides, and now he finds himself racing against him here on what would be the lights East Coast, but on a 450.
Back to the front we go, and look at this. Brayton has closed back in on Millsaps. Final lap. Can Davey hang on for the win? Brayton tries to take a look inside. There he is, tight, inside line, and another rider just to the right. And again, Millsaps is able to hold on to the lead.
Brayton misses that triple in the rhythm a little bit. That may be just enough.
He made a mistake, didn't he? Yeah.
Hey, Millsap's going through them whoops pretty quick, too, especially when it's crunch time here.
Well, he really dragged that leg through that corner. But this is the final one here. Checkered flag's going to wave, and Millsaps can finally breathe comfortably now. Albertson has the final transfer spot. Making his way around. Jimmy getting that BTOsports.com Suzuki to the line.
Just kind of tiptoeing through here. Knows that he's got a big gap behind him. Doesn't have to rush it. But he is in the main. He's found himself in some LCQs this year, and these LCQs have been ugly. Tough to get through.
He's on tonight.
Pretty good ride here. Joe Gibbs. Got to be proud of that one.
Start, and it was all Will Hahn, and it was a great start as well.
Will Hahn got out front and, held on to put the bike in the main event.
Starts dropping back a little bit here, as expected.
Look at Brayton, too. On the 10, getting past Hahn early. And then Wyndham, one of the pleasant surprises of this heat race is he came charging through. We'll see now if he has some time he's going to have to find a way to keep that back loose for the main event.
Well, and that will be the challenge for Kevin, is to keep mobile here between now and the main event.
Results show the Yamaha on top. Davey Millsaps getting the win over the two Hondas of Brayton and Wyndham.
And how about Canary? Down in the second turn, comes back and just misses qualifying.
He's going to have to do it through